Hello there, health and happiness seekers. It's Chara Caruthers here from Bliss Body and Soul. And so spring has sprung, hasn't it? And if you haven't already started thinking about how to look and feel your best this season, well, I'm here to help. And so today I just want to share with you a few tips from the ancient living science of Ayurveda that will guide you in making the right choices for foods that are going to support you in feeling light and bright and strong and avoiding the typical pitfalls of the season. So things like allergies and colds and flus. And so Ayurveda holds that food is the best medicine there is. And so what does that mean? That means that we've got to educate ourselves about which foods to choose in order to, as we change and as the environment around us changes, in order to maintain our energy levels and our sense of happiness and self-worth. And so, how can you eat like you love yourself in spring? Well, I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan of mantras. Simple, powerful words that can keep us on our path. And so let me share with you the Ayurvedic mantra for balance and bliss in spring. Warm, light, and dry. So why? Why warm, light, and dry? Well, because these qualities offset the cold and the heavy and the wetness, these qualities that tend to hang out in our minds and bodies at the end of a long winter, and that in excess can actually show up as depression, as weight gain, as complacency, and even the colds and flus that I mentioned earlier, if we don't dry out, warm up, and add a little bit of lightness to our lives. And so how do we eat at this time of year? Well, you're going to want to choose warm foods like light soups, steamed vegetables, gluten-free toasts, and porridges with light grains like amaranth and millet. You're also going to want to go for dry, light produce. So I'm talking leafy, bitter greens, sprouts, apples, pears, berries, and even dried fruits, and also dry goods like beans and lentils of all kinds, and warming spices. This is my favorite. Warming spices like ginger and cinnamon, cumin, black pepper, and chilies. These are the kinds of foods that are going to add that sense of lightness to your body and your mind and actually help you to shed some of the heaviness that actually might be hanging over from the winter time. And so now is going to be the time to avoid foods that are heavy and that are hard to digest and that are sweet and potentially mucus forming. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about things like dairy products, meat, and heavy, sweet, and sour fruits like coconuts, bananas, oranges, and avocados. The beauty is that most of the produce that's going to be especially good for you this time of year can typically be found in your local farmer's market. And that all of the dry goods, the things I mentioned like the beans and the lentils and the spices and even snacks that are actually kind of good for you this time of year like popcorn, those things can usually be found nearby or through fantastic services like the Whole Foods Collective. And so I just want to leave you with a reminder of that healthy food mantra for spring: warm, light, and dry. And I also just want to wish you happy eating for a light, bright, and healthy spring season. Namaste.